Hello guys, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening wherever you are watching me from. I just want to brief something to you regarding a condition called pelvic inflammatory disease. I am not actually going deeper on this topic, but I only want to brief you to let you know something that is not refused to you. You are not in this aspect, but as for me, who is also a specialist on this issue, I should be able to tell you some things about this condition. If you have been diagnosed for the PID and you have not done HPS, I'm telling you now that before you start treating that condition, there's always a test which you need to do. It is very compulsory. You don't just go to the hospital or to pharmacy to treat infection. You need to know what actually is the problem. You need to know, am I supposed to further my test? Am I supposed to commence the treatment? If you always check the beneath of the report, you always see a comment when you're being diagnosed for the PID on your scan report that you should go to the lab to repeat the test, like to undergo like a test like HVS, eye vaginal swab test, or urinary MCS. These two tests are very important. They are necessary to be done before you start treating the infection, before you start treating PID. You need to know the pathogenic organisms that are responsible for that infection. It could be staphylococcus, it could be yeast infection, it could be trichomonas vaginalis. Do you understand? So it could be anything. It could be gonorrhea, it could be syphilis. So you need to know the actual infection you have before you go for the treatment. So most of you have been treating infection for a very long time. So if you have been on antibiotics using to treat infection and there was no single improvement, despite the fact that it has been long you have been treating it, it is not how long, it is not how far, it is the way you treat infection. When you're about to treat, first of all, you need to know the kind of infection you have. After the PID, after you have been diagnosed for the PID on scan report, then you go for the HVS and the urinary MCS. These two tests, they are very compulsory, to undergo. So you have to go to the lab to undergo these two tests. So when the result is out, you know the kind of infection you are having. Then after that, you need, if you've been taking on your HPS report, there's always a prescription, the one you resist to and the one you are sensitive to. So there's always two classes of this treatment on the report. You have to go for the one you are sensitive to. The one you resist to means the organisms that cause that infections are more powerful than those drugs under the resistance. But the one under the sensitivity means those medications are more powerful than the organisms. So you have to go for the one that is more powerful than the organism, which is under the sensitivity. So to treat infection, if you have been taking the same medication and there is no single improvement, you have to switch your treatment, like to change your treatment. You have to, there's some ways you can treat infection successfully. Some of you have been treating infection alone. When you're treating infection, you don't treat yourself. You need to treat your sexual partners. If you have more than one sexual partners, you have to treat all of them along with you. If you have just one sexual partner, you have to treat your sexual partner. And also you need to abide by the precaution, like or to prevent yourself from being reinfected after the treatment. Make sure that, like, you don't share the public toilet. You always take the fruit You always drink enough of water to flush out bacterial infection out of your system. And also you make sure that you change your undies. You change your undies during the treatment. Like, you change, or if you have been treating infection for a very long time, you change all your undies and get a new set of undies. And make sure that you don't practice vaginal douching. When you're douching, like, you are applying the chemical substances into your vagina, like a detergent, like a melon, like a lemon, like alum, like Dettol. All these are very harmful to the harmless organisms in your vagina, and this can increase the chance of having infection. When the soldiers in your vagina, the immune system in your vagina has been harmed, definitely you have create a space for the infection to come into your vagina. So these are what you need to consider. So if you are treating infection, and you also need to be ensure you are eating fruit will help you to produce antioxidants, and to also boost your immune system to fight off infection in your body system. And also, then when you are treating, make sure that you don't practice self-medication. This is one of the most important things you need to consider. Self-medication is very harmful to your body system, and this can lead you to develop more infection when you're practicing self-medication. Try and know the cause of infection before you commence the treatment. Don't just go for the treatment when you have not diagnosed the actual cause of infection, because if you are treating PID is just a name. It's like pelvic inflammatory disease, that there's some infections that have invaded your reproductive systems, and they have already caused some organs to get inflamed. And this is what PID simply means. But what are those organisms? What are those infections? You don't know. You can only know by undergoing HFS test and urinary MCS test. So these are the tests that can actually reveal the kind of infection you have before you start any treatment, before you commence any medication. And also, make sure that you don't practice self-medication, like I said before. And also make sure that you always provide vaginal hygiene. Some of you don't know how to practice vaginal hygiene. Vaginal hygiene is not just by practicing vaginal douching. Maybe you're trying to apply Dettol to your vagina. You are applying alum, to make it not to be slippery, and you're applying the detergent or antiseptic soap into your vagina. No, you are not helping it. Vagina can actually help itself. It is capable of cleaning itself. Vagina is inner side, it is not outer. The surface that come into contact with your undies, they are vulva. Vulva is not vagina. Vulva is outside. You can actually rinse that side with soap or antiseptic soap, but by not to put them inside, which is vaginal cavity. So this is what you need to do. Make sure that you always practice vaginal hygiene. It is very important. And also not to take self-medication, and make sure that you always consult your medical doctor if there's any issue you want to actually treat, or if there's any report you want to give to your doctor. And this is one of the right way, this is one of the tips to make sure that you don't continue treating infection. And I think I'll be done for now, and this tip should help you a little bit. If you want to consult me, you can actually private message me, or you can write to me on WhatsApp, and also you can get in touch with me through my platform. So I think I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your thanks for listening, and thanks for your understanding. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.